Alright guys, so I'm just going to show you this really quick. It's just the one tool that we've talked about a few times before that is going to be really helpful for logos, okay? Because mostly logos are going to be shapes. So I'm just going to quickly do a couple of shapes here. I'm doing ellipse tool as well. Cool. So we know about the fill and the stroke. We've talked about that a few times before. So here's our fill color. There it is there. And our stroke can be any color as well. We'll make it green for this argument. And then, oops, we'll switch that around. And there we go. Okay. And of course then your stroke is a separate thing. So you actually have your stroke layer here, and your weighting is how big that stroke is going to be, and they're in points. Okay. So how this works is if I then scale this, all right, the actual stroke down there doesn't change in size. It still is the same weighting that you gave it. Okay. So this is what I was saying to Liam. If you started out and your canvas was huge, like 10,000 by 10,000, a gigantic canvas, and you filled the whole space, and you to make it so you could actually see the stroke around it, you'd have to increase this a lot. Okay. And then if you wanted to then export this at a smaller size, and you shrunk all of these elements down, so if I shrink this size down,
why don't you just export it as a...
You will. That's what I was going to get to. It'll keep the same stroke there. Okay. So what you do is you work at the size that you're working at, and then you export it at 2000 by 2000. So you're not scaling down in Illustrator. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. Okay. You can scale down in Photoshop if you want to instead. So if I actually copy that image and then bring up Photoshop, I'll do a new, and I paste that in. You can actually paste it in as a vector as well. So if I paste it in pixels, I can't really do much. I mean, I can change it, but it won't look the same. If I paste it in as a vector, I can now scale this, and it scales uniformly. That's the easiest way to do it for what you're doing. Okay, and then there you go. And it stays as a vector as well, so you can go back and you can keep scaling this, and it's not going to change those details. Anyway, so back to Illustrator. So Pathfinder is probably the thing that you're going to be using the most of. We talked about it last time, but it has been a while since we've used this, so I'll quickly show it to you again. Because it's going to be the easiest way to create the things that you're doing. Alright, so we've got our shapes here. I'll even take the stroke off one of those just for the fun of it. Alright, there's our shapes. You won't have the Pathfinder window up by default, so just go to Window and go to Pathfinder, and then you get this here. And essentially the icons kind of tell you what it's going to do. So if I get that and I put it there, and then I select both of them, because to make it, if I want